Hello, welcome back to Cracking the Cryptic. And I did a puzzle, it's almost precisely 6 months ago by Calvin Ball, which involved a loop. And we've just been recommended another puzzle by Calvin Ball that involves a loop. Sudoku wrote to us and said that we should have a go at this one. And I looked it up. It actually dates from a month before the previous one we did. But Calvin Ball is clearly very good at these loop puzzles because Sudoku says this is very good, so we ought to have a go, I think. Now, Calvin Ball itself, the name, the pseudonym, is a reference, it turns out, to Calvin and Hobbes, the cartoon, which I might have guessed, but also to a game that started appearing in the last few years of the Calvin and Hobbes cartoon called Calvin Ball, in which the rules change every time it's played and competitors must wear masks and the scoring is random or nonsensical, which is why I believe the title of this puzzle is The Score is Still Q to 12. I know Calvin Hobbes, I like Calvin Hobbes, but I have not seen vast numbers of the cartoon. It is always very amusing, especially given how surreal some of the things in Calvin and Hobbes are. So I'm a sort of dilettante fan, but anyway, that is what the title of the puzzle is based on. I don't know if that's going to have any bearing on how the loop in the puzzle works. Oh no, it's a snake. It's not a loop. I'm wrong. I must read the rules before I start blabbing away. Anyway, we will get to the rules fully in a moment. Hopefully I'll understand them when I read them in full. But first of all, don't forget that if you like puzzles which are themed on things, then the monthly Patreon reward is an absolute must. The Nurikabi Puzzle Pack by Blobs, who is a master of themed puzzles, is out there. And it is absolutely brilliant. There are 10 Nurikabi themed puzzles with islands in the middle of a sort of sea of blue, based on various rules. That's absolutely brilliant. And there are 2 bonus puzzles that you don't have to do, but you will want to do. It's a brilliant pack. I can't believe that we bring this to you for a kind of $2 a month subscription to Patreon. If you pay the $3 a month, it's not much, is it? You can get the solution videos to those 2 in due course. And then there's crossword videos there and connections and all sorts. So do check out our Patreon. We've also, of course, got all of our apps which feature a variety of variant Sudokus and indeed classic, but also the latest Fog of War Sudoku. So check those out too. There's our merchandise and Sven Sudoku Bed, also linked under the video. But the first link is to this puzzle. The score is still Q to 12. Now, I will tell you that at the weekend, I was watching a match where the score was 13 to 7. And I would like to congratulate Oxford University's lacrosse team for beating Cambridge this year in the varsity match. I enjoyed myself a lot at that. Now, let's have a look at the rules of this puzzle. The score is still Q to 12. Normal Sudoku rules apply. 1 to 9 will go in every row, every column, and every 3x3 box. That's the rules. We have to draw a snake in the grid, not a loop. A snake is a 1-cell wide path of orthogonally connected cells, so they move vertically or horizontally, which may not touch itself orthogonally or diagonally. So it couldn't go into that cell, the snake. Arrow cells are always snake, and count the total number of snake cells seen in all indicated directions. So if this sees 4 cells up its column and 2 cells along its diagonal, its count would be 6 in that cell. Arrow cells do not count themselves. Circle cells, there's 2 of those, are the head and tail of the snake, that's an appropriate number, and count the total number of snake cells in their box. Now cages, there are 2 cages in this puzzle. They represent different zones which dictate how the snake functions through each zone. So in the German whisper zone, which is this one, where the snake appears, it's a German whisper line. Consecutive digits must differ by at least 5, or adjacent digits must differ by at least 5 along the snake. In the entropy zone, which is only 4 boxes down here, the snake functions as an entropic line, and along an entropic line, any 3 consecutive cells must contain a low digit, a medium digit, and a high digit. So 1 from 1, 2, 3, 1 from 4, 5, 6, and 1 from 7, 8, 9. Where the snake crosses into different zones, it doesn't need to be either entropic or German whisper. So if it crosses between the zones, and it will because we've got a head in one zone and a tail in the other, it doesn't matter about the connection between those 2 cells. Okay, that's quite a long set of rules, but it's not actually that complicated apart from knowing what entropic and German whisper lines are. Well, maybe it's a bit more complicated than usual. Oh, hang on. Cells separated by a white dot are consecutive. Okay. Do give it a try on that first link under the video. I mean, it's a longer rule set than I normally tackle, but I'm looking forward to this because I did enjoy that previous loop puzzle that Calvin Ball did, Psst, or something. Anyway, let's get cracking. So we can colour the arrow cells. They're on the snake. Let's make our snake purple today. Fully purple, there we go. So, short pointing arrow cells have to be quite low. I mean, the maximum number of snake cells this could see is 3, and that's not going to be it, because if they were all snake cells, this would be cut off in the corner. The snake can't touch itself, so it couldn't come out again. So that is 1 or 2, and I think the same is true there. Oh, I will go back to pink for the snake, actually, because it's more, the digits more visible. Yeah, this can't be a 3, because if those were snake cells, it'll never get out to its head or tail. Oh, obviously the head and tail are snake cells as well. I should have noted that. Now, this is pointing to a maximum of 8 cells, and 2 of them are already snake-filled. This, no, it's not pointing to that cell. These snake head and tail are going to count the number of snake cells in their box. Oh, we've got German whispers up here. Ah, yes, okay. So the snake moves orthogonally. It only goes horizontally or vertically. And that means that to an extent in this puzzle, there's a bishop's move restriction over, well, okay, I'm going to modify what I'm saying. Within the German whispers region, while the snake stays in it, and we're going to have to bear in mind the possibility that the snake goes in and out of the region more than once. I mean, it definitely could. I don't know exactly how it would work, but while the snake is making one visit to the German whispers region, look, I'm actually going to colour some cells here. So just to display the point I'm trying to make. And if you know the bishop's move restriction thing that occasionally applies, you'll understand this. But if you had a chess bishop within the GW area, it could never leave the yellow cells if it started on them. If it didn't start on the yellow cells, if it started on a white cell, it could never get to a yellow cell. Now, why do I care about a chess bishop which isn't in this puzzle? Because what we have in the snake in the German whispers region, for the visit it makes, the one visit I'm talking about, it's got to move orthogonally, only horizontally or diagonally. So when it's hitting the yellow cells, it's going to be low. When it's hitting the white cells, it's going to be high. Because it must move between them. I didn't actually mention that the 3 standard rules of German whispers are 5 can't appear on German whisper. It alternates, this is the key bit. Therefore, the line alternates between digits higher than 5 or digits lower than 5. Otherwise, the difference wouldn't be maintained. And finally, 4 and 6 are quite difficult to place. They can't go in spaces where their two neighbours can see each other. Anyway, what we have done is established that this cell is a low snake cell, and so is this one. Now, unless this cell appears on a different snake visit to the German Whispers region, if it appears on the same snake visit as either of these two, it must be high because it's on the white cell, not the yellow diagonals. You can just imagine if you went along here, it would be low, high, low, high, low, high. And it would clearly be significant if it was high, because at least 6 of those 7 cells would have to be snake. Now this is clearly a very important point. Could this be on a separate visit of the snake to the Whispers region? Because that is really going to matter. You've got to bear in mind the beginning and end of the snake as well. They're involved in this. Oh, okay. Here's something absolutely blatant that I can do. This is a corner cell that is a snake. So the snake must go around all of those. This is a corner cell that's on the snake, and we know it's not the start or finish or anywhere near it. So the snake must go around all of those. That's part of the rules of snaking, is that it can't touch itself, so it couldn't emerge any other way from the corner. Now, this is going to connect to this through one of those cells. This and this will connect. So these 1 and 2 are on the same passage of the snake, and it's all about, can this be a different one for me? Could this be low in a different pass-through? That must join to that cell, because otherwise the snake would be touching diagonally. So I'm thinking about this as a possible snaky thing. Now I'm going to have to think about the numbers that would eventuate. Or are there other ways for this to be a separate visit? I just don't know. I think this is really interesting. I mean, this is just not a plausible... Yeah, it won't work. Okay, because you have to start in the middle. I was just... Sorry, this is quite confusing, but imagine this was one path of the snake. It may be there, so it wouldn't have to touch the one up there. And then it came down here. Now, the snake could never get up and down, up to the corner where there's a lot of purple and down to the other end of the snake, because although it could theoretically go up that column and come down this column, it can't do that once this cell is a snake cell. And that's quite complicated, but it's definitely true. And I think, in my head, I think that rules out this path, which I thought was a plausible second snake visit to the German Whisper region. Is there anything else that the snake could do in the German Whisper region? Let's just think about this. This is part of the snake. And we've got to join one end to the head and one end to the tail. How could we do that with 2 visits to the Whisper region, one of which included these cells and one of which included that cell? Again, you can't send the snake up here and bring it down here without touching the center. So it's got to touch the center. We've ruled out this, which I thought was the only way you could get it up and down here without touching the center. Is there a way to go like this? Yeah, but then you don't get out of the whisper thing before you pick up these. No, there's nothing left. There's nothing left. This is on the same part of the path, because there is literally no way to have this be part of a second entry of the snake into the whisper region. This, I'm sorry I'm labouring this point, but I think it's very important. This has to be part of the same path as these within the whisper region. I'm just going to take a little moment or more to think about whether there is an alternative. That's exactly the same principle as I was talking about before. That hasn't changed anything. You just can't get up to the corner loop. No, okay. This is high. 6, 7 or 8. No, not 8. It's only looking at 7 cells. Now it can't be all 7, because that would break the snake completely. It would be forking and just thoroughly broken. It's astonishing to me that it can even be a 6, but I think it is. There has to be a gap within this section. Well, no. I think that has to be the gap, actually. You can't join these up, basically. If the gap wasn't there, if that was the gap, there's only one cell in these 6 that is non-snake. If it was there, then these are on the snake. That creates a loop. Yes, it has to be one of these two to prevent there being a forking. So these are all snake. I think that has to be the gap. Yes, otherwise we've got a fork here. So that's snake. Now I'm going to get rid of the yellow colouring because it's getting in the way a bit. Let's look at this snake. I mean, it's very visible suddenly. It has to go through there because it can't go through there without being diagonal. And now we can do numbers because this is a German whisper line up here. Actually, maybe I'll go crazy, absolutely bonkers out of my mind, and do a little German whisper line through this part of the snake. And there's an entropic line through this part. Okay, anyway, 6 goes to 1 always. That's its only possible neighbour. Oh, I'll tell you what that does. That means the snake can't go on to there or there. It must go on to here. And we don't know anything about that boundary border and the connection between them. But we do know now that the snake must go down to here to avoid anything happening. So we've got tons of the snake filled in. What am I trying to do? I'm trying to put a yellow line in there. And. I mean, we've got these numbers. That's a 1, that's a 2. That's the number of cells they're looking at. This one, okay, let's make non-snake cells green. These are definitely non-snake cells. All of these, that. At least these are green. Actually, these are green as well. They mustn't touch the snake, and that. Oh, this is purple to keep it going. Right, now let's think about the arrows and the German whispering. Well, let's just put in candidates. This is 7, 8 or 9. 2, 3, 7, 8, 9. Remember this rule about 4 and 6 can never appear where neighbours, their two neighbours are seeing each other. That's going to be very relevant in this puzzle because the snake always has 2 neighbours. Only in occasional cells like that do the 2 neighbours not see each other. So that could be a 6, weirdly, that cell. Then 7, 8 or 9, 7, 8 or 9, 2 or 3. So that's, we've got a 2, 3, in this row there's only 4 and 5 left to place. In this box, the green cells are 4, 5, 6. That is not a 1 because it's already seeing 2 cells. What's this seeing? It's already seeing 2 cells. Oh, I do not have German whisper rules applying here. Ah, okay, what we have instead is entropy rules. So this is at least a 2, so let's say that. Now, how many cells can it possibly see? It could see 1 there. Actually, it could see 1 there, and 1 of these 2. Not both, because that's a head or tail of the snake. So a maximum 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. That's why I haven't put 5 as the maximum number. I didn't actually think it could be as high as 5, but it could be. So this is either medium or low. Now, the entropy rules mean that because every 3 cells have to obey the rules, we can alternate every 3 cells with the same... this is going to be the one that gives us low digits, with the same polarity of low, middly, or high. So, could this digit possibly be a 4? All of these would be on the snake, and that's impossible because the snake would... Well, hang on. Could they all be on the snake? I was going to say the snake would branch. Well, it would, because this has to join onto that in one of those positions. So this can't also have snake cells there and there. This is definitely low. So let's give it a blue flash and then alternate that around the grid. Right, unsurprisingly, that one becomes low. Or not around the grid, around the entropy line. Now the trouble is that doesn't give me the highs and mediums at all. Oh, this one will, because we know exactly what this number is. It's a 5. We can count the pink cells above it. That makes that a 4 and that a 5. And this is middly, so give it a quick yellow flash. Those are both middly. Whichever one is in one of these 2 cells is middly. These others are high. They're from 7, 8, 9. This middly one is a 6. It sees 5 and 4 in its column. That's 4 or 5. This is still in the German whispers region. This is 7, 8, or 9, and that's a triple in the column. Everything else is from 1, 3, 4, 5, 6. Okay, this snake head counts the number of snake cells in its box. That can't be 1 because it has to get out of the box. It can't be 5 because that's in the row. I was about to say it can't be 6, but that's not true. You could have 6 cells of a snake here. So I think it's 3, 4, or 6. What is this? I haven't... Okay. We know its polarity from this line. So I don't know whether that's on the snake or that one, but I do know that that is 3 away from this cell. So it's a low digit. So it's 1, 2, or 3. It's already seeing 2 cells. So it's not 1. It's going to see either one of those 2 or none of them. Now, I haven't done any thinking about this. It's on the German whisper line. Oh, how many cells can it see in its box? Well, it's certainly not going to be 6. How many snake cells are there in the box? It's certainly not going to be 6. So this is a low digit. Now, I have absolutely not ruled out that this digit could be in a second pass. In fact, look, this is a very plausible snake. And then this would be in a different pass through. On the other hand, just in Bishop's move, it is the same as that, so it could be on the same one. Okay, I'm missing something. This, maybe. No. Oh, yeah, hang on. That's a 2-3 pair. They can't have a 7 between them because one of them is a 3. In fact, that's a 2-3 pair makes this a 1. That's quite important, presumably. So one of these is a 7 sitting next to a 2. So one of those two is a 7. That's not a 7. Yeah, Sudoku. Time to do some Sudoku in my Sudoku puzzle. I don't know. The white dot, I hadn't thought about that at all. 1, 4 and 6 can't be on it. The even digit on it is 2. No, it's not 2. I was going to say 2 or 8. It's not 2 because this can't be a 2-1 pair. And if it was a 2-3 pair, it would break that cell. So the even digit on this white dot is an 8. Going with either a 7 or a 9, making a triple with that and turning this cell into a 6. 7, 8, 9, 1, 6. So these are from 2, 3, 4, 5. That one can't be 4. I've got a 7, 8, 9 triple down the final column now, and everything else in it is low. I never pencil marked that. This is now 2 or 3. I thought that was going to be a little more helpful than it was. Yeah, German whispers. It's hard to be sure what's going on. Okay, let's have another think about this end of the snake. I haven't even in my head ascribed head or tail to the two ends of the snake. It could be either way round. I think it's going to see 3 cells at a maximum. It's not going to be 1 because it needs to move on. It's not going to be 4 because how could you cover 4 cells in this box with snake? You just couldn't. It's 2 or 3. And that's a pair again. Okay, so that's not 2 or 3. These are green. The snake can't get into those cells because it would have to come out again. Yeah, that's no good. So those are green. Now I'm interested in this number and whether this cell is potentially snake. The snake would either go like that or like that. It does seem possible, but and this would be the other end. Yeah, I don't know. I can't rule on that, I don't think. Any arrows? This arrow might be able to get the number if I think about it. One of these must be snake because having come into the snake through there or there, we've got to leave through one of them and not both. So exactly one of those is a snake cell and that one might be. I don't know. I'm missing a point here somewhere. This hasn't been really deep deductions yet. Oh, 2 is looking at that. Oh, that's huge. 2 is looking at that cell. I think I just worked out this can't be a 3. Only one of these is snake, possibly. They can't both be. Yes, that I've concluded that several times, and I'm sticking with it. So that's a 1. And now the one of those that is a snake, not only can they not both be snake, but one of them at least must be snake. Because having arrived there, we have to move on. So that's green, thanks to this 1. Also, I can take out 1 from that cell, which does nothing. Right, the only way some of these could have been purple is if all of them were purple. No. I was going to say this can't be a 3. But now I'm not sure. What if we look like that? I think, no, that's too many. This is seeing that one already and that one. It could only possibly see one of these. But that one it could see. So we could come down, go up to that one, and then left. And then maybe even up to there. Doesn't really matter. We could go to either snake end and that could be a 3. I was trying to make that a 2. Didn't get the job done. Right. Sorry, I don't know what to do next. Do I need to think about entropy more? I just don't know whether we're having 2 goes at entropy or just 1. I just want to decide this digit for some reason. And that all depends on whether this is in the snake or not. Oh, the version I just said where this isn't a 2. Right, this is never a snake cell. Because one of those would have to be, and this could no longer be only 3. This is never a snake cell. That's green. Right. That's taken me ages. I'm so sorry. It's so obvious. That is now a 2, and that was the point I wanted to get to, because we can do the full count on this diagonal. That cannot be purple, because one of those would have to be at least, probably both, and that would be bust. This is now green. This, I don't know. I'm not ruling on that and what this digit is, but I got a 2 up here, so that's a 3. That makes this a 2. Let's just do this step at a time. 3 can't be next to 7, so we know where 7 is in the box. 7 is now not on that white dot. 2 is not in those cells. These 2 include a 7. We've got an 8-9 pair in this column. That hasn't really changed anything. Oh, I thought it was going to be more helpful. Oh, 2 has made this a 3 in the central circle. Now this has to be purple, because both of those can't be, or it wouldn't be an end. And we've got a whisper thing going on, so this is low, and it's not 1 or 3. Let's say a 2 or 4, just in case it can be a 9. Oh, yeah, it is low. It's connected to that. One of these is high. I still don't know whether we're going to go out that way or out that way. Just got a 3. That's so random. No, it's not random. It puts a 3 in one of those cells, and now this can't be 3 and is 2. And that goes green as a result. And is there any other result? No, there is no other result from that. Just get one cell of green, and I was really pleased with it. There's a 3 in one of these cells. That's Sudoku. There's a 6 in one of those and a 1 in one of those. I don't even want to pencil mark that because they kind of go around the corner. It doesn't feel helpful. If this is on the snake, it's low. If this is on the snake, it's a 1. Oh, maybe I need to think about this digit more. I haven't done that. To be a 3, it either goes, I sort of fancy that it could be a 3 going straight up there and going out. And it couldn't in that particular respect, because this is an entropic 3, and you wouldn't hit a high digit if you went out that way. Now, if it's a 3, therefore, it might go out through that cell into that one. That's possible, and I don't know. Could it do it? Could it go into that cell? And then it would be joining up with this. So there would be another connecting cell, but then it would pretty much have to get straight on there. And I bet this is going to be the wrong count for a low digit 3. It is. That's really interesting. I don't think this can be a 3 because it can't emerge through there. Because it would then have to connect up with this end of the snake. It would all be entropic. They'd all be on the same entropic line. And that would connect, that would put a low digit in this cell, but not a low digit in that cell. So 3 is not possible. Because you couldn't get out that way, and you couldn't get out this way. and you'd therefore need more than 3 cells. So we've got 4 cells, and the exit from this box, where is that now? No, sorry, we've either got 4 or 6 cells. The exit from this box, I think it's either there or there. We can't exit through here. It's got to be an even number of moves away. So I think we either go up that way and exit, I don't know. Well, I do know. We don't exit there because we'd join on there and have created a diagonal connection. So we'd exit there, and that's no good because that would join the head and tail together. So if it's 4, it doesn't go there. If it's 4, it goes here by some path and exits through the white dot. If it's 6, I think it's the same deal. It can't exit through this corner because it must hit that cell and connect the head and tail too quickly. So this is the exit through there. There we go. And now we know that this joins to that, this joins to this. We know which end of the snake is which. This must join to this somehow. And this is green because that is part of the snake, and if it went here it would be a diagonal touch. So we've got to come out of box 5 to there, I think. Yeah, we have. I still don't know which of those is purple, but we come out to there, then we go to one of those, then we must go to this cell, and then this. Now we can do a count. 1, 2, 3. That is a low entropic digit of, well, look, it sees a 1 in the column and a 2 in the box. That's a 3. That's quite a big deduction. That's a 2. That's a 3. You can see why Sudoku loves this puzzle so much. It is really clever. Now, that 3 that I've just put in is seeing those 2 cells and one of those, because one of them's purple. So that's green. I could have done that ages ago. I've not been focusing on that digit at all, sorry. Now, that's gone purple. This goes green. Still got 2 cells on this end of the snake to finish off. Now, we know a little bit about the polarity here. This is 4, 5, or 6. In fact, it's 4 or 6, and that's a pair. This is high, 7, 8, or 9. Don't know much about that. The one that goes here is going to be 4, 5, or 6 as well. Right. Now, that's green. We join up here, and we join up efficiently down here. Either that, or that, or that. So these are green. I think that one, no, I don't know. Now, white, no, first of all, whispers. That is high, 7, 8, or 9. It can't be 6. Now, it's on a white dot. But, perfect. It's on a white dot. 3 moves away from this is that cell. So it must be middly on the entropy. And then the white dot is going to tell us that we have a 6 and a 7 there. I could actually just finish off the colouring here. Well, with the cells I've got. This is a different path from this, so it doesn't have to be in the same order. So what I'm trying to say is I don't know anything about where the connection things are. But that's a 6. This is now 4, which I could have done ages ago because I worked out that it only had 4 connections. Those are not 4s and 6s. That's not a 4. This is a 6 indeed, and that's a 4. This is not a 6. That's not 3. Don't know about that one. We need a low digit to connect these two. In fact, we need a 1 to connect them because that's a 7 and 2's already gone in the box. This is a 6. Now, we can't go through a 5 here because we've got to have a low and a high. Oh, we can't go through this cell at all to go from there to there, because if we went there it would be low and a 1, and this would have to be high, and there is no way for that to be high. So we're not going through that cell. That's green. This is pink. I don't know its polarity. It's either 1, 8, or 9. It's not allowed to be from 4, 5, 6. Only one of, no, I don't know. I was going to say only one of these is a high digit. That is not a deduction I'm allowed to make. I thought we were doing really well. That's a 6 by Sudoku, but it's quite slow for me at this point. Probably that's because I am just being quite slow. That's orange. Okay, let's think about the connection here. So we need a low digit and a high digit. If we go through there, this is the low one and this is the high one. If we go through here, it's 1, 8. In fact, by Sudoku, this is 1, 8, or 9. It sees, it sees 2, 3, 7, 6, 4, 5. So now I've got a 1, 8, 9 triple in the column. And this is a 5, 4 pair and does not include a 1. And therefore is not on the pink path. This is and is low and has to be a 1 to be next to the 7. This is now 5 and 3. We could come through the 3. I don't know yet. Still a bit of snake to determine there. We've got an 8, 9 pair. What else have we got going on? 6, 5, 3, 4. We've got a 2 to put in there by Sudoku. Got a 3, 6, 5. We can put a 5 in there. That could easily be on the path. I suspect we'll find that that can't be 4, although I can't see why yet. But that's just a uniqueness argument that has no business coming into my deductions at this point. So there's a 1 in one of those cells. 4, 2, 6, 3, 5. That one is 7, 8, or 9. This one is 1, 7, 8, or 9. 6, 5, 3, 4, 2. There's a 7 in one of these two. Just trying to do some Sudoku now. 3 is in one of those. 6 is in one of those. And then there's an 8 or a 9 still to place in this box. Oh, come on, Mark. What's going on? It's probably easy peasy lemon squeezy at this point. 6, 1, 3, 5. Don't know. 8, 9, 1, 6, 4. We need a 7 up here somewhere. 6, 4, 1, 1, 4, 5. I can't see what to do. I cannot see. There must be some absolutely rootin' tootin' simple move left. And I don't know what it is. One of these is a 7. Is that any use? I doubt it very much. 6, 2, 3, 5. Come on, think again. Oh, the arrows, are they all done? They're all filled in, I think. I don't think there's anything else to do with the arrows. I mean, this one has not been fulfilled yet, but we know that one of those cells will do that. So there's nothing more to do with the arrows, definitely. One of these is from 7, 8, okay, 6. 6 in the central box. Sudoku, there it is. Right, that places a 6 there. Now 1 in the central box, there it is. That must help a bit. One of these two has to be a 1. It doesn't help completely. The 3 is going to join on by German whispers to an 8 or a 9 in one of those positions. What does that mean? It must mean, oh, there's a 4, 5 pair there. 4, 5, 2, 6, 1, 3. These are from 7, 8, 9. Now, look, I've got a triple here. So that's 2 or 4 and is not on the path. That's green. This is on the path and is 8 or 9. And that's a triple as well. And this is a 5. Now, come on, 5. I've not focused on 5s at all. Do something spectacular for me. That 3, no, 2, 6, 3. These are from 1, 7, 8, 9. Yes, where's 5 in the central column? I don't know. It's in one of those two cells. Not helpful, 5. Right. 4, 5, 2, 6, 3, 1. I haven't had, yes, 5's in one of those cells. 4, 5, 2, 6, 1. This is 3, 7, 8, or 9. Oh, it's becoming a pencil mark fest. Ah, the snake, of course, has now not allowed to go there. It must go there. That bit of the snake is finished. This bit is not. Still don't know how that finishes. Right. I mean, I'm going to get rid of the line, actually. There's no point. We don't need that line anymore for anything. I don't even need this one, really. Let's get rid of that line, too. I'm also going to recolor. Oh, I'm not, if I keep accidentally drawing a line. I'm going to recolor all of these just pink because I'm not bothered about the individual colors anymore. We know all about them now. So where are we though? This can't be 4, 8 together. Now, is that going to matter? This is the whisper rule. One of these is a 7 in its row. One of these is a 7 in its box. So there are definitely 7s in both those pairs. That's a weird X-wing of 7s, but it means that's not a 7. It also means this is not a 7. I'm just checking you get that. One of these is a 7 in its row, because that's not. One of these is a 7 in its box, because that's not. So 2 of those are 7s. Obviously only 1 in each box, but there are 2 7s there, and therefore this one couldn't be anymore. And I feel like almost told me where 7 was in the bottom row. It didn't quite do it, but it was interesting. This is left to be 4, 8, or 9. One of these is a 7. Is that good? No, it's not. I thought we were onto something there. 4, 7, 8. I hate pencil marking everything left into a box, into a cell. Oh, excuse me. Okay, so sorry about that. Now, where were we? 1, 5, 2, 6. I still can't finish off. Oh, I'm missing something very Sudoku-y now, probably. Oh no, maybe I need to colour 8s and 9s against each other. Okay, let's get rid of the yellow there. Yeah, this could be important. Let's do blue, orange. Doesn't really show up. Blue and yellow. Blue. Oh, is that not going to? Can I not carry that on at all? Oh, well, one of these is yellow. One of these is yellow. Maybe I can't. I just thought one of these is blue. I thought I'd get to this one. No. Okay, is there something else I can colour? I was just thinking it's maybe all of 7, 8, 9. That might make some sense, actually. Because I've still got these uncertain numbers knocking around. And one of those was going to be 7. I don't know. I might be barking up the wrong tree entirely here. I wanted to get to this one, and I thought I was going to, and I didn't when I was trying that colouring. That's really strange. It just felt obvious that would be the step I hadn't got. These are from 7, 8, 9. That's quite interesting. Oh, that's a 7, 8, 9 triple. Is that it? That's all we needed to do. This is a 1 now. Oh dear. That's a 1. That's a 1. These are not 1s. Right, I'm sorry. I just hadn't pencil marked that cell, I think. So this one is the high digit on the snake. At least the snake is finished. This is going to let me do that 8, 9 colouring again. So let's go back and do that. Blue, yellow, and I bet we get something out of this. Blue there. Yes, there it is. Look, blue and yellow are both looking at that cell, so it can't be 8 or 9. That's quite a complicated step. I mean, somehow I knew it was coming, but it's not kind of how you expect to solve this. So let's keep going anyway. That's yellow. See, now this can't be yellow or blue either. It sees yellow in the row and blue in the box. So that's a 3, and that's not a 3 and is indeed blue. This is worth doing. There's a 3 specifically here now. And that's a 3. Actually, that's been a 3 in this column for a long old time. That's a 3. Oh, I hope that wouldn't have made a big difference. That's a 5. It probably would have made a big difference. This is a 7-2 pair. These are from, that is 8 or 9 now. Have we, yeah, we can colour these. That's yellow. That's blue. I'm absolutely sure this is important to keep the colouring going. Now, or don't forget the whispers. Don't forget the entropy. No, we've done the entropy. There's nothing to remember about the entropy. Where's 4 in these cells? I've still got a few 4s to figure out. Oh, that can't be 3, so we can give it a colour. It's yellow. That's blue. In fact, I could have done that ages ago. This is 2 or 4 by Sudoku. In the row. 6, 3, 1. I don't know about these. Do I know about this? Yes, I know that that's a 4. That's very obvious. This is 7, 8, or 9. Oh gosh, we're back with the colouring. But look, this can't be yellow or blue. That's a 4. Well, it's seeing an 8, 9 pair. It really is straightforward when you spot it that way. Now, there's a yellow in one of these 3 cells. That is seeing blue in the column and yellow in the row. That is a 7. That's going to be quite big, I think, because it places 7 in the final column. Now, we've got a yellow in one of these cells. I still don't know about these colour-wise. 4 is here in that box. This is 8 or 9. I can colour that. Now I can get up to the colouring in the corner. Blue, yellow, blue. Something has got to tell me which is an 8 or a 9. It's not this, by the way. In case you're thinking there's a German whisper move, this is not in the German whisper cage. This is in the entropy cage. It's going to be here. So I'm going to have to sort out the 2s and the 4s first, I think. Oh yeah, look, there we go. Bingo. That's a 2 because of this 4. That's a 4, and there it is. Now we know that the blues, I'm going to remove green first of all. Now we know that the blue cells, because of this connection, must be 9. So I'm going to make them all 9. That means the yellow cells are all 8. And that's really speeding us on to a conclusion. This is a 7. That's an 8. This is 7. That's 9. This is 2. This one's become a 5. That does the 4, 5 on the left. This 2 and 7 is done. And here we go. We finish off with 8 and 4. And the score is still Q to 12. 64 people have done that in best part of a year. And it's a very good 6-month anniversary of the first Calvin ball puzzle I did. That's a clever puzzle. I made some heavy weather of parts of that. I know I did. But on the other hand, I got through it. Oh, and that is the aim at the end of the day. There we go. There is our snake that has won the game of Calvin ball. It's a clever puzzle. Thank you, Sudoku, for recommending it, and thank you, Calvin ball, for creating it and featuring again on the channel. We'll see you again soon. Bye for now.